the studio today, and I want to apologize in advance. We have Laurel Hill, construction is going on, and something that makes me go out of power is the rumble of construction trucks and the beeping, and all my windows are vibrating and reverberating, and so I apologize in advance if the sound on this video is a little off, but since we're talking about power and being out of power today, that is a good segue into the third chakra. So if you're joining me today for the first time, we're doing an 8-month series, and you can do the series any way you want. You can do it over a course of 8 days, 8 weeks, or follow us along with 8 months. And the reason we're separating this is we're looking for time in between to integrate. So as we take a journey through the chakras and we go from the root to the navel, to the sacral, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, and to the crown, we want to allow time to really dive in and experience each chakra and all the assets and attributes and discoveries that we can make along the journey, and how that impacts our lives. So as we mentioned in the first video, and if you're tuning in now and you're going, there's another video, there are 2 prior to this one. Please watch those first. And things that you'll need to do this series with me is we came up with a little card, and it can be anything. It can be a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be totally creative, but I put my name on it, and on the inside, as we go through, just leave space, because there's questions and answers to each one, and it becomes, at the end of this series, your card. Okay, so setting it up for today, we are doing the third chakra, and the third chakra is Manipura, and it is a beautiful chakra, and I have to say I identify with all the chakras, but none quite as much as this one. And the reason is it is a fire element, and it's all about power. And I'll just make a little joke here. For those of you who follow astrology, I'm an Aries, which is fire, and I have a moon, which is Leo, which is also fire. So this is truly the one that I identify with the most. So when you think about the third chakra, we're still in the bottom 3, which is really all about the physical. So let me show you a cool little flip chart that I did for that. You know, the lower 3 gears, are all about being in a physical body. It's about being grounded, it's about feeling it, and this is the one that moves up to the power that we have to access it. So think about stoking the fire or turning on your car. It's not the gas that makes your car go, by the way. That's just like fuel, okay, food, if we were using that analogy. The engine is what makes the car go, and the turbines are what makes the airplane fly, and so on and so on and so on. So, and electricity, and I could go on and talk about power, right? This is the power center, it has been called, and it's a very powerful chakra. So what that is for us, let's look at that, okay? So we got the gears, the bottom 3, we're in the physical. As I love to start these videos, let's talk about when this chakra is completely balanced. Would you be surprised to find out that you're in power and that you're powerful? Me either, right? You're also very responsible and you're reliable when this chakra is balanced. So you have good goals and you achieve them. They're not out of power, meaning, you know, you're not all caught in the flight of a goal, but you're, you know, achieving it and feeling good about it and then moving on to the next one. Typically, if you're balanced in this chakra, you'd be a list maker, and you know, as you cross those things off, you'd be like, yay, I did a great job today, okay? Those list makers out there know exactly what I mean. So you're confident in this chakra. This chakra involves the will, you know, our right to be here, and you know, do you have a strong will or a weak will? And it's also about ego. So ego is so important. You know, ego is what keeps you safe. Where ego becomes an issue is we're only listening to ego and we're not tapping into our higher self and what we know to be right, because we're so concerned, right? So it's hard to find balance in those two, and I recognize. So this is also known as the solar plexus chakra, okay, if you've heard that. And, you know, we're energetic when we're based in this chakra. We're playful. We have the ability to take risks. And this is also the right to act, and we're spontaneous, and we're certainly humorous. So if you think about all the things that it takes to be in power and what power is, but look at it a little broader too. Imagine that this is also about the type of power that you get up and have and hold every day. So yeah, what does that mean? Have you been tired lately? Do your arms feel lethargic and heavy? Do you get home and just about pass off on the couch or fall asleep during the news? Okay, that is someone who is lacking energy, lacking power. So that would all kind of manifest in this third chakra. And it makes sense that if this chakra is all about metabolism and about energy, that it would absolutely affect the body in indigestion, and hypoglycemia would be an element of this, I guess. Diabetes, liver, pancreas, stomach, gallbladder, even chronic fatigue, which has to do with energy. Those would be issues tied to this chakra, okay? So I've listed off what is in balance. Let's talk about being overactive in this chakra. So, and if you don't know this, you can absolutely, I suggest you do, if you're just tuning in, go out and take a chakra test, chakratest.com, and you'll find a lot of them out there. I do the one from Carolyn Weiss, and she's got a great one out there. And anyway, take the test, and then you'll be able to answer these questions, whether it's overactive, underactive, or in balance. And that test truly does tell you where your chakras are at in that moment. So moving on with that energy, if this chakra is over excess, spinning too fast, out of control, you would be someone who is very dominating. You would be very controlling. You would be very competitive. Yes, I know, that's me. You would be a little arrogant, sometimes a little too ambitious. And you know, I was surprised to see the word ambitious, because everybody's got it on their resume, you know, as a good trait. And it is, it's important to be ambitious, but over ambitious, maybe not so much, right? That you crawl over other people to get to where you want to be. You could be hyperactive, right? Ready to explode with your energy. So somebody who has too much energy, you know, who need to move constantly. This is an overactive third chakra. And the negative, also over dominating, would be stubborn and so driven that it's all about the goals. So I remember one of my bosses telling me once that I was a little too competitive and a little too driven. And I said, well, could you explain what you mean by that? And he says, it doesn't matter whether the check is a $5,000 bonus or it's a pizza party on Friday, G. You're kind of over the top trying to hit the goal. So I get that that's a little excessive. It didn't matter what it was. I was just going to win, right? So that would be somebody who'd be a little overactive in the power. My boss loved it, but maybe not so much the people I was working with, right? So anyway, joking aside, if this is inactive, you're passive, you have lack of energy, you have poor digestion. So if any issues with digestion, you know, whew, think about it. Something's wrong with your third chakra. Tendency to be cold, I think that's fascinating to me. The air conditioning can be on and I'm still in a sweater, okay? So you would also be submissive, and somebody who was underactive in the third chakra would be, of course, not in power. They would be blaming everybody else for their experience, okay? Low self-esteem and a weak will. So those are positive, under, and of course balanced. Those are some energies. Okay, so let's keep going. The demon on this chakra, as we mentioned in every one of these videos, is shame. And there is a lot of videos on shame. Brene Brown, love you. If you don't know the definition of shame and you're looking for a broader explanation to that, please click into some of her videos. She does a great job giving that language. The positive archetype in this would be the warrior. Okay, and that's somebody, of course, who can lead and is doing it with honor and is not forcing themselves in any way. And of course, the negative archetype would be the opposite of that, which would be the servant. So just tending and waiting and taking care of everybody and not taking care of themselves. So it is a fire element, as mentioned, okay? It is a sensory connection, is actually to sight. And it's the drive for this chakra is, of course, willpower. And the astrology connections are Aries and Leo. makes total sense, doesn't it? And the planet connection is Sun and Mars. So more on that with our friend Sienna. And then the sound of the chakra is Ram. Okay, R-A-M. The crystal connection is yellow citrine, fool's gold, and topaz. Okay, so that gives you a sense. This also, another fascinating fact about the third chakra, is it comes into experience, which means into our lives, at 18 months to 4 years is really when this develops. And think about that. I call the little kids curtain climbers, right? A curtain climber is a child that you can't contain in any way, and they're climbing up the curtains. I'm pretty sure that's a child with an overactive third chakra. Okay. So getting into that, we talked about the bottom 3 already. So, you know, being into the physical aspect of this. I want you to pull out your card, and if you don't know what your card is, it's the card as mentioned in the beginning. So if you don't have one made yet, it's okay. Right to the side, I'm going to ask you some questions about what the third chakra is for you, okay? So let's talk about everybody's idea of what power is, okay? So, you know, my question to you would be, so what does power mean to you when I say power? And do you have an idea of what you're really good at? Do you have an idea of what you're really lacking? Do you know where your strengths are? Do you know where your weaknesses are? If you don't know, well, I guess I would challenge you to go to your boss and ask them. Go to your best friend and say, how would you define this answer? But more importantly, will you find it out for yourself? There are so many people that come to me and you know, let's say they're coming to me because they're not happy in their job right now. And I go, well, what do you think you want to do? And they go, I don't know. And I'm like, seriously? You have no idea what you'd rather be doing than what you're doing right now, which you can't stand? So that's somebody who has a third chakra issue, okay? And there's tons of tests and personality profiling and career coaching that you can get that will help you uncover what you should be doing. And I am a firm believer, and I coach to this, so I don't believe that work is something that you should just drudgingly do every day. I think that everything you do in your experience should be done with joy, and I think you can have fun and feel powerful in all of it. So if any aspect of your life right now is feeling a little out of whack with that, then, well, maybe we should be talking. So, and it should be well-rounded, right? I work with people who go to work every day and it brings them so much joy, and they come home at the end of the day and they dust off their day at the door and they enter experience that they're truly not honoring. So, you know, out of power in that aspect of their life, right? So for you, what I want you to do is I want you to write down 5 things that you absolutely feel that if you were bragging about yourself, what would you say? And I hope you can come up with at least 5. Actually, I hope you can come up with 100, but today on the workshop and the time that we have, please, on your card, identify 5 things that you're phenomenal at, and exaggerate if you have to, okay? And then this will be easy for everyone to do as you're doing that. I want you to think of the 5 things that you struggle with. And think of the energy of power again, that place you out of power, that you feel powerless over, that you wish you had guidance on, and that bring you a feeling of depletion, okay? So for your card, if you have to pause the video, do it, or do it after, please, promise me. I want you to know 5 things that you're phenomenal at, and I want you to know 5 things that you need help with, okay? And I want you to uncover that those 2 things, the differences between the 2 of those, here we go again with a polarity, will, you know, strengthen the ones that you love about yourself or honor those more. And then the things that you're weak at, you know, there's a reason things cause us pain in our body, right? We start to feel a little shoulder issue. It's the body's way of saying, over here, okay? Same thing energetically. If there's 5 things that are bringing you heartache, sorrow, and you're not feeling good about yourself too, do me a favor. Will you just focus on those things for a little bit? And let's get those up and running so they don't bring you pain, okay? Kind of like physical therapy for your emotional issue, okay? So can you do that for me? And out of those, I want you to pick just one of each for the next 7 days, or as you set your intentions and you do your yoga and the rest of it. Could you focus on those and maybe even ask people around you to guide you and help you with that? That would be some great homework for you, okay? So let's ask some questions regarding power and see how you do answering these, okay? And again, these are for you. There won't be a test on them. They're really just for you. So question is, what is power to you? Do you feel you have a good grasp of your power? Do you spend most of your day in power or out of power? And what puts you in and out of power? You should know those things. Do you see yourself as strong or weak? And then how do people see you? If you ask 5 people, how would you see me? Answer this question for me. And everybody sees you as weak and you think you're strong. My sense is you're probably wrong, okay? So ask around, get a sense if you don't know for yourself. Do you know yourself? Are you at the max of where you feel you are? I hope you're always looking at yourself as learning and expanding, okay? But do you know yourself enough to know what direction you want to head in, okay? So are you still learning or are you expanding would be a question about your power. And then how is your energy level right now? Is it high or is it low? I mean, I just got off the mat and finished my yoga practice this morning, which was all about this chakra. It was a series that I'm doing, it was 3rd chakra focus. And guess what it was about? Fire, core, okay, twisting. And everything was about bringing power to myself. So right now on this mat, I'm ready to explode, okay? If you'd seen me yesterday, you would have known that I was completely out of power. I, 2 days ago, started to feel like I was running out of energy, and I kept biking thinking I was going to get more energy from biking. Yesterday, I forced myself to stay inside all day and just rest and do quiet things because I needed to replenish. So think about you and your energy level. Are there moments and times during the day where you want to take a nap? Is it after lunch like most of us? Again, metabolism, there's a problem there in the 3rd chakra, okay? So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the 3rd chakra. So power, power, power. Okay. So back to your card. You've answered all those questions. Moving along. I want you to answer for yourself. I am in power when I am, and I am out of power when I am. Okay? Again, homework for you. Okay? I'll give you an example from me. I am in power when I am prepared. I just love being prepared, by the way. So everyone jokes and laughs at me. My entire meal plan is prepped and done by 8:30 in the morning. And all day, every time I go to the refrigerator for my next meal or for when Michael gets home and dinner, everything's prepped and ready to go, including the napkins and the silverware on the table. So I know that seems a little excessive for people who aren't prepared, but I literally do. That's my joy all day, to just feel like, wow, I'm ready and I'm organized, okay? When I'm out of power, somebody's dropping in on me and telling me I need to change something, and I'm not spontaneous at all, so I need help with that. So that's just an example of something that I'm currently working on. And I have this great saying, and I'll share it with you, and those who have been coached by me have heard me say this. And if you're managing people, here's a great tip for you. Here it is. You show me your assets, and I will show you your liabilities, okay? And what I mean by that is anytime that you have something that you're phenomenal at, and let's say, you're really driven, and you're high energy, and you're just somebody who always is ahead getting it done. Sound familiar? You would be out of power if you were asserting yourself in all those situations. If you felt like no one at work was working as hard as you, if no one could do it better than you, if everyone else was just a bunch of losers, okay? You would be, an asset would be that you would be all those things, but you're also a little out of power in the sense that you're projecting that all on everybody else, and that's not okay, right? So finding the balance in all of that is the difference between an asset and a liability. And like everything in our life, and as certainly as we're uncovering in the chakra system, all these need to remain in balance, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So moving on, the last thing that I'll share with you, actually second to last thing, is definitions. This is a pretty complex chakra. The last one in the whole physical sense of our work. So I am going to literally say the word that is associated with this chakra, and I'm going to give the Webster's dictionary definition of this word, and just know that everything that I'm about to say connects to the third chakra, okay? Are you ready? Okay. So, first word vocab test. There will be a test, kidding. Autonomy. Okay, that makes sense. It's independence or freedom as of the will or one's actions. Love autonomy. Responsibility. The state or fact of being responsible and answerable or accountable. Okay, so being responsible for our actions is, and being reliable, same energy, right? This is the one that says, you know what, I screwed up, I take responsibility, and here's how I'm going to fix it, instead of, I did something wrong, don't judge me, okay? That's not being responsible. Got it? Okay. Proactivity, to be proactive, to step out ahead, kind of be ahead of the source, okay? Don't just be reactive, be proactive. Again, all part of the third chakra. Individualization, I can't say this word fast, hold on. Individualization. Carl Jung, okay? He talks about this in all his work. If you ever check him out online, he's phenomenal. The soul's journey towards realization of wholeness and awakening. Okay, and this is the chakra, of course, that talks about authority, and the Webster's Dictionary definition of that is the power or right to give orders and make decisions. Okay, will, to have a good will, strong will, to be even-willed, okay? Expressing a strong intention or assertion about the future, okay? And ego, a person's sense of one's self-esteem or self. You know, there's this great story that I've told when we talk about ego in my sessions. People always are trying to tame their ego and listen to higher self and not pay attention to their ego. And you know, if the building started on fire and there was a whole room of people and one guy stood down some hallway that you had no idea where things were going and screamed, "This way, everyone," there's the guy who's going to save you, right? Everyone would probably head in the direction of that guy. My sense is he probably has a really good sense of self and can command the room and get people to safety. I would be following him, okay? So the demon in this chakra is shame, as we mentioned, and that wraps up in a very fast and powerful way, just like the third chakra, everything about the chakra. And oops, one more thing, we keep talking about, so the last thing to do with this is we keep talking about how each chakra has a lesson, a life lesson that it's working through. The root was to be aware of the material and to trust in a place of despair. The second chakra was to know that you are enough. And God, we spent a month in boundaries, didn't we, learning that lesson. And the third chakra is the right to act and to be an individual. The purpose is transformation. Okay. So stay watching. At the end of this video, I'm going to have a list of affirmations that love and support you as you work through this chakra. And please subscribe for more of these like-minded videos. I appreciate our time together. I appreciate you. And I respect your power. And you are in power, I hope. And have a fabulous day. This is Jeannie signing off. Namaste till next month. Do your homework. And what is your homework? Yoga, meditation, embracing, affirmations, intentions, everything to do with the chakra as you integrate into your experience. So happy you're here. Have a great day. Good luck with all of it. Thank you. Namaste. I love and accept myself. I stand up for myself. I am strong and courageous. I am worthy of love and respect. I choose the best for myself. I express myself in a powerful way. I am proud of my achievements. I honor myself. I choose healthy relationships. I am authentic. I direct my own life. I appreciate my strengths. I feel my own power. I am free to choose in any situation. I seek opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. I am at peace with myself. I think Jeannie is amazing. Had to throw that one in. Love and light, Jeannie Lynch, signing off.